Hey guys, I hope you were able to enjoy being outside today. It was so nice. I took Kaylee for a walk when I got home from the school. Oh, there's Jaden. I took Kaylee home for when I got home from school. I took Kaylee for a walk, and that was so fun. She enjoyed that. I'm going to read you chapter 4 of the Magic Treehouse Revolutionary War on Wednesday. Maybe we'll do chapter 5 too. Jack and Annie ran alongside the riverbank. The wind whooshed over the cold water. Wet snowflakes hissed in the dark. But then Jack heard other sounds. He heard voices, lots of voices. He and Annie soon came upon hundreds and hundreds of soldiers gathered near the dark river. Many carried oil lanterns. The lanterns gave an eerie glow to the snowy twilight. "The captain and his men must be here somewhere," said Jack, looking around. Boats like giant canoes were tied near the river. Men were leading horses and loading cannons onto the boats. "What are they all doing?" said Annie. Jack pulled out the Revolutionary War book. He read in a whisper. "On Wednesday, December 25th, 1776. "December 25th? That's Christmas," said Annie. "Today's Christmas." "Cool," said Jack. He started reading again. "On Wednesday, December 25th, 1776, the Patriots were losing the war. Ragged and weary, many were ready to give up. Then something began to happen that would turn the war around. About 2,400 American patriots gathered on the west bank of the Delaware River in Pennsylvania. They prepared to cross the river to go on a secret mission." "A secret mission? Oh man," said Jack. He started to pull out his notebook. "Attention, troops! The commander-in-chief!" a soldier shouted. Jack and Annie saw a man in a dark cape and a three-cornered hat ride up on a white horse. The commander-in-chief loomed above the crowd of soldiers. His cape flapped in the wind. He sat calmly and with dignity on the back of his horse. Even at a distance, Jack thought the commander-in-chief looked familiar, very familiar, but he couldn't figure out why. "A dangerous mission lies before you all," the man shouted above the wind. "But I want you to have courage. You must remember the words of Thomas Paine." The commander-in-chief held up a piece of paper. He read to his men. Kind of see the pictures there? All the soldiers with their three-pointed hats. He read to his men. "These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman." "Wow, that's great," whispered Annie. Listening to the powerful words, Jack felt his spirits rise too. "The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph," the commander-in-chief read on. "What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value." There was a silence, as if everyone were thinking about the words the man had read. Then the soldiers started cheering and clapping. They didn't seem tired at all anymore. Now they seemed eager to set out their mission. The commander-in-chief saluted his men. He steered his horse towards the river. As the horse moved past them, Jack got a better look at the rider. He gasped. Of course, he thought. He'd seen that face before, on dollar bills. Jack grabbed Annie's arm. "I know who the commander-in-chief is," he exclaimed. "He's George Washington." Let's do chapter 5 too. The letter. "George Washington? Really?" said Annie. "Yeah, I think he is," said Jack. "Wow, where'd he go?" said Annie. "I want to see him again. Come on." She started down the river. "Wait, don't go far," said Jack. "I just want to make sure it's him." He opened the Revolutionary War book. He found a picture of the boats on the river bank. He read, "When George Washington gathered his troops by the Delaware River, he was commander-in-chief of the whole American army. The general led the army for 6 years until America became a free and independent nation. In 1789, he was elected the first president of the new United States." "Oh man, it is him," said Jack. He pulled out his notebook and wrote, "General George Washington helped America become independent." "Hey, what are you writing?" someone asked. Jack looked up. A bearded soldier was pointing at him. Jack shoved the Revolutionary War book and his notebook into his bag. "Nothing, sir," he said. He started walking away. The man shouted after Jack, but Jack ran down towards the river and lost himself in a crowd of soldiers. When he looked over his shoulder, he was relieved. The bearded man was nowhere in sight. "Stop, young man!" Someone shone a lantern right in Jack's face. Jack Jack gasped. It was the captain. I told you to go home, Jack, the captain said sternly. Where's your sister? Jack looked around. Where was Annie? I don't know, he said. Find her at once and go back to your family, the captain ordered. Our secret mission is very important. Children will only get in the way. Yes, sir, said Jack. The captain started to leave, but he stopped. I wonder if you could do me a favor, Jack, he's asked. Sure, said Jack. The captain pulled out his letter. This is my letter to my children, he said. It's a farewell letter. Would you please take it back to you to Frog Creek? Yes, sir, said Jack. You must only send it if you hear that we have failed in our mission and many patriots were lost, said the captain. Yes, sir, said Jack. The captain handed his letter to Jack. I copied the general's speech for my children, the captain said. If anything bad happens to me, I hope these words will give them courage. The captain then turned and disappeared into the crowd. Good luck, Captain, Jack called. He hoped he would never have to send the letter to the man's children. Suddenly, Jack clutched the letter to his chest. Send, he whispered. This letter was the writing they'd been looking for. Something to send. He and Annie could go home now. Their mission was over. Jack shoved the captain's letter into his bag. You see the picture? George Washington giving him the letter. Now he just had to find Annie. As he looked around, he shivered. Where is she? He muttered. Jack started moving through the crowd, looking for Annie. It was hard to see. The wind was blowing harder. The snow fell faster. Jack started to panic. Annie, he called. As he wove quickly in and out of the crowd, he kept calling for her. None of the soldiers noticed him. They were all way too busy. Finally, Jack came to the river. Through the lamp-lit mist, he saw soldiers waiting to get into boats. Some had already climbed aboard. Jack! Came a cry. Jack saw a figure of a small girl. She was sitting in the back of the biggest boat. No way, he whispered. Jack charged down to the boat. He stood at the edge of the water. What are you doing? Jack shouted. This is George Washington's boat, Annie said. It's our big chance to spend time with him. We might not get another chance. Jack looked at the other end of the huge boat. Through the mist and falling snow, he saw the commander-in-chief talking to his crew. We can't go with him, Jack said. We'll get in the way of his secret mission. Besides, we have something to send now. What? How? Said Annie. A letter. The captain gave me the letter to take back to Frog Creek, said Jack. We're only supposed to send it if something bad happens to the captain. We can go home now. Oh, can't we go a little later? Annie asked. Jack climbed into the boat to pull her out. No, come on, he said, taking her hand. Suddenly the crew moved to the back of the boat near Jack and Annie. The men grabbed their oars and started pushing the boat away from the shore. We're taking off, said Annie. No, we have to get out, Jack said to the rowers. But the men were working too hard to pay attention. They were using their oars to hack up the ice at the edge of the river. Excuse me, Jack said in a loud voice. Just then the boat jolted forward. Jack nearly lost his balance. The boat broke through more ice. Rough waves sloshed against its sides. We have to go back, said Jack. Too late, said Annie. They were headed across the Delaware River. Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen on their journey through the river. We'll find out. Sure miss you guys. Hopefully tomorrow's as nice as it was today. It was such a beautiful day. If it's nice out, get outside. Enjoy some fresh air. I hope you're working hard on your packets. Remember, I'll be taking attendance. So I'll be messaging either your parents or you guys on Seesaw to see what you've been doing. Okay? I miss you guys. Hopefully we're back in school soon.